Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Deion Sanders and recruiting for Colorado, Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness, and as always, since it's Friday, we will be doing our Friday special of dating horror stories. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Hello, Tate. How are you?
Hello, Miss Faith. Okay,
Right.
I was feeling a little under the weather when we first started today, so just trying to make it through.
Hey,
But I
snacking
do
on
want to
some
tell you
Skittles.
something.
Yeah, I was watching,
Skittles.
I could see you in the corner of my eye while I was doing the intro, and I love how you, dusted your hands off. Like you had crumbs or something from the Skittles.
You know, brother like to be clean and neat.
Oh,
What I was
goodness.
going to tell you is,
Mm,
it's funny, I was talking to a group of friends of mine
mhm,
that actually listened to the show.
mhm.
And they were all talking about the whole last show, or I think it was last show or show before, the woman with the gas card.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Everyone was like, they would have used so much gas that they'd be
Everybody
20
would be in jail.
everyone would be in jail.
Yeah.
Everyone looked at it the same way as I did. That it's like, listen, if you got a gas card and you're just using your rewards and you're getting free gas,
Listen, okay.
you're using everything. All right,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't use it. I would 100% use it, but I, wouldn't do it. I would do it in a way where I wouldn't get caught, You have to do things strategically so you don't get caught. And this lady was
So
doing
you're
it.
a criminal. Wait a minute,
No.
because we're just innocently using the card. You're like, I gotta be strategic with it.
Well, because obviously that was definitely a glitch, I think anybody could say that that was a glitch. Who's going to give you free gas? In this economy, nobody.
Matter of fact, I'd have some gas in the Caymans too, by the way.
Ship it out.
I'd be shipping gas to
Oh,
my little
gosh.
offshore account somewhere. I'd have gas everywhere. Anyway, guys,
Oh,
that was just a little
also,
insight.
I forgot yesterday was Pi Day, and I celebrated Pi Day yesterday. 3.14. Me and my boyfriend made pizza pies for Pi Day. It was really good
See,
too.
I don't think of pizza as a pie.
Pizza pie.
So
It's like that song, with
just
the
because it has a pizza and on the name, that is not a pie.
Okay, well, agree to
Well,
disagree.
the people would disagree with me on that one as well. But it's kind of I feel that way, like some people are like, pineapple don't belong on pizza.
I love pineapple on
And
pizza.
pineapple on pizza is awesome.
It's delicious.
And for all you jokers out there that's
We're
like,
probably
pineapple don't belong on pizza, if you can get pineapple on pizza in Italy, you can get pineapple on pizza in the US.
we're probably gonna lose
Just to let you know.
subscribers for saying that. Hot take: pineapple belongs on pizza. Oh,
Look,
okay.
if you get a pizza here,
Mm.
if you get a tropical pizza here, it's pineapple
Mango.
and mango.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
And
you
that's
told me that.
I like that. Mango on pizza is highly underrated. Crazy.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's
Alrighty.
dive into our real work here.
So, Deion Sanders has reportedly has not made any in-home recruiting visits as Colorado's coach. Deion Sanders has always done things differently, whether during his superstar playing days as primetime or during his current status as Colorado's coach prime. But a new report from USA Today reveals just how differently Sanders has approached the recruiting trail since arriving in Colorado in December of 2022. More specifically, he has not exactly hit that trail. According to USA Today's review of public travel records and subsequent confirmation with the University of Colorado, Sanders has not made any off-campus recruiting visits since taking over as Buffalo's head coach in December of 2022. Like many other aspects of Sanders' tenures with the Buffaloes, that is extremely unique and nearly unheard of among major college football head coaches. By comparison, USA Today reported that according to public records, ex-Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh made 145 off-campus visits with recruits and or their families from December 2022 through when he left the defending national champion Wolverines for the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers in January. So, seems like a lot of other head coaches go off campus to do recruiting, and Deion Sanders does not.
All coaches tend to travel like crazy when they're recruiting. I mean, they're coaching or they're on the road recruiting. And I found that when I first saw this, I thought it was wrong. I'm like, no way. Coaches are on the road all the time. And then, I was like, wow, can that be the case? Not one trip? Is that is so different than I'm talking like Division III coach. Even like the Mount Union colleges and Walsh colleges of the world to the University of Akron's and the University of Buffalo, all the way to Georgia and Florida State. They all travel like crazy recruiting. And I was thinking about that and I'm like, wow. But Deion is a different kind of guy. First off, Deion, his fame and his history is just so big and so legendary that he's able to recruit and go out and recruiting the transfer portal for second year, having the #1 transfer portal class and everything that he's been doing without even leaving campus is just unreal. The second thing that made me think about this is this. Totally separate conversation. I'll dive back into Deion traveling. But for someone who's worked in the past in some broadcast companies and things, isn't it funny how people will look for stories even when there's not a story?
Yes.
Why? If someone's going through and checking public records, like, why isn't first? I bet you initially they were like, let's see how much Deion, where are you going? Trying to get a story like, oh, he's using it for, his own personal use. Then he finds out, oh, he's not going anywhere. That's my new story.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's traveling or not traveling. What matters is the fact that he is recruiting his tail off.
Yeah.
The fact that he took the worst team in the country for almost a decade and has single-handedly turned them around. Granted, I know they didn't finish strong, but that was more about depth. There was so many players that you could bring on. And as the season went on, the depth of the team really suffered. When you look at this year and you look at the recruiting class, he has done a great job. I don't even know if there's enough balls to go around for the wide receivers that they have. Deion has been recruiting and recruiting and recruiting. I just don't like, and this is just my assumption, that sometimes people will look for a story when there's no story to be had.
You gotta pay them bills, man.
So, but also, I think, I don't have any information, just saying, I think that part of why Deion doesn't haven't traveled so much is he has had an ongoing health scare with blood clots and surgeries in his leg and things of that nature, which, if you know anything about blood clots and those kind of issues, flying can be very dangerous. And so that could be a factor in it as well. But it definitely speaks to why more people should start thinking about some of these celebrity style coaches. Think if he's able to do what he's done by not even leaving. Imagine if you had a coach like Deion, but he traveled as much as Harbaugh. He'd be looking at a national championship already. It is impressive. When you in the Deion, it's the Deion effect. That this whole thing is about the Deion effect. The fact that he doesn't have to travel to bring in players, the fact that someone's actually going through public records to see if he is traveling or if he's traveling too much. I was talking to someone that I know in the Colorado area, in the Boulder, Colorado area, and talking about the tourist dollars and how much Deion coming to Colorado, how much it changed the economy. They always had a big tourist economy, but it has just gone, way above and beyond to, record levels because people are coming in for the games, people are coming in. So tourism has bloomed. Businesses have the Deion effect, where businesses are getting record-breaking numbers this past year because of the people that have come in. The University of Colorado, their enrollment numbers have skyrocketed, all because you brought in one man, and that is Deion Sanders. It is impressive what has happened and how there's this whole economy, this whole, Deion Sanders world that is going on that I don't know if any other coach could do this. It's amazing.
Well, I did read while Deion Sanders is not traveling, he's sending off assistant coaches to do that. So assistant coaches have made over 90 in-person visits to recruit for two recruits and families since he's taken over. So while he's not traveling, somebody else is.
Right. And see, that goes with the whole fact of having those blood clots, the fact that he's legendary for his speed and his athleticism, and but blood clots have gotten to the point where he almost lost his whole leg. They had to cut part of his foot off, things like that. So traveling can be incredibly tough for a person with that kind of a health issue. And it sounds like it's ran in his family because he's had other family members that he has lost because of this. But I don't think a lot of other coaches, matter of fact, I know this for a fact, there's a lot of other coaches that would not, they'd be in a world of trouble. They're like, hey, coach, coaches don't travel anymore. That's their bread and butter. That's what keeps them going. And the fact that kids are getting excited because an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator or a linebackers coach just showed up at my house, and it's like, hey, I'm going to get you on a Zoom call with Coach Prime. And just a call from Coach Prime on Zoom or, a FaceTime call is enough to get them to come there. That's impressive. What
Okay.
happens if he did start doing the traveling? What were we gonna say?
I have a question. With the like coaches traveling and everything like that, but with the stuff that's been going on with name, image, and likeness and everything like that, how does coaches traveling to visit those people in order to recruit? How is that okay? But like not decorating up a dorm room for someone to come on campus is
Oh,
not.
okay. Yeah, there's a whole see there's a little different. Okay,
It's a
so
little off topic, but you know.
no. This is a good transition though. There's three things in there you just brought up then.
Mm-hmm.
First off, the name, image, and likeness. The one thing Deion has done a really great job on is navigated the name, image, and likeness world,
Mm-hmm.
where getting like the top name, image, and likeness player in the country is Arch Manning, which is Peyton and Eli Manning's nephew,
Mm-hmm.
and Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders'
Mm-hmm.
son.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the top two name, image, and likeness people in all of college football. And from everything that I have been seeing, that part, people have been able to come to Colorado and get some name, image, and likeness deals that have been phenomenal. So Deion has done a great job navigating the name, image, and likeness. The coaches travel, that's a whole different bucket of money. Coaches are allowed to travel and go back and forth. The middle one is what you're talking about. These crazy NCAA rules
Mm-hmm.
where to fill everyone in, the NCAA passed a new rule about a few weeks ago that you can't do photo shoots and you can't decorate a player's room when they come on a recruiting trip anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Those are special uh, benefits. So if a player goes there before, they take pictures and everything, and then when the player goes to their room, it's decorated, with Colorado or Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have a couple of little bears here and there, like the cow bear here or the buffalo, and just some swag for the players. Nothing too elaborate,
Mm-hmm.
just welcome for visiting. And the NCAA is like, nope, that's a special violation. I mean, that's a special treatment. Can't get that. So, and this is the problem that has gone on with college football and the NCAA and why so many people do not like them is because I feel like, again, that's someone looking for a problem when there's no problem at all,
Yeah.
and which is unfortunate. That's part of the reason why sometimes I'm in favor of college football breaking away from the NCAA, because if it was, hopefully it would run more like a corporation where players would get paid. They, take name, image, and likeness out of it and just get a basic salary, and anything you get on endorsement is your own business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the world that I feel like we're heading to. But this whole world where a coach can get suspended because he bought a kid a cheeseburger,
Yeah.
Harbaugh, or because some cheerleaders came in there and decorated your room, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was a great point what you brought up there.
Yeah. Just all these dumb rules
There's a
that.
lot of dumb rules the NCAA has, which needs to the NCAA, if they were smart, they would step back.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got another message in here about Deion Sanders. That's kind of weird. One just popped up. The NCAA should step back, look at college football, and look at college sports in general,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of overhaul it.
Yep.
Overhaul the schedule, the college football calendar, the way things are done. As a whole, the world has changed. And the NCAA, I feel like they've been holding on to this old world that is disappearing, and they're not adjusting. And those who do not adjust get left behind. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with name, image, and likeness, players getting paid, the Florida State, Ohio State, the Big Ten, SEC, and what they want to do with the college football playoff. Deion Sanders doing things not the traditional way. All of this is tied together. This is the new NCAA. This is the new college football. The NCAA needs to catch up. And for that matter, a lot of the fans, unfortunately, have to catch up because things change so fast that people hadn't had a chance to adjust to it. But looking at Deion not traveling, everything that he has done, Deion has definitely shown that he is part of the new modern day NCAA world. So
seems like the NCAA is like the movie Mean Girls. Like, you can't sit with us. You can't do all this stuff.
It's just some of the rules are just so crazy. So yes, I'm with you.
But I mean, props to Deion Sanders for doing what he's doing.
That is impressive. If you haven't gone on any trips and you're bringing in these transfer portal classes and things that you're doing and bringing in the top players that you have, man, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And and that's people who say, oh, he has an extra advantage because he's so famous. Hey, you use what is given to you.
Take it where you get it, man.
You get in where you fit in. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness in college football evolution. So stay tuned, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing Deion Sanders not traveling to make recruiting visits, and now we're going to be talking about Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness and the college football evolution. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it just also really helps the show. You guys should do it.
Nice.
I wish we could have like recordings of like us behind the scenes during breaks and stuff like that, and then put up like a little montage of the things that we do when we go on break, because Tate just popping Skittles.
Just getting my Skittle fix on. I haven't had Skittles in years. Like, I bet you haven't had Skittles in 15 years.
I haven't. I'm not really a Skittles person, and it's because I used to love the sour Skittles, and the sour Skittles used to like erode the inside of my mouth.
Whoa.
Because I would eat so many, because of the sour coating, like the tops of my mouth would.
I've never even had sour Skittles, so I have no clue what you're talking about.
They were good.
But I do love sour. Like those Sour Patch Kids and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I was back in the US, I thought I was about to OD on some sour stuff. I went to a grocery store and it was like sour palooza. And I just started grabbing.
Oh gosh.
So I have appreciation for the sour ones as I'm working on a couple more Skittles.
Alrighty, well, while you work on that, we'll dive into our second topic of the day, which is Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness and the college football evolution. Dan Weltz, Ross Dellinger, and SI's Pat Ford dive into the ever-evolving landscape of college sports with a particular focus on Nick Saban's recent comments on name, image, and likeness. The trio began by dissecting Saban's bold stance on name, image, and likeness and its implications for the future of college athletics. Dellinger provides firsthand insights into the atmosphere of the Congressional Roundtable, where Saban's remarks stirred significant discussions and debates. The conversation then shifts to the college football playoff as Dellinger updates listeners on the proposed format changes. The favored 5+9 structure without automatic buys sparks speculation about its potential impact on playoff dynamics and conference representation. Amidst the discussions on football, the hosts take a moment to explore the culinary delights at the Big 12 tournament, offering a lighthearted interlude to the intense sports analysis. Throughout the episode, the hosts intertwine their sports insights with flavored discussions about the latest coaching developments and potential landing spots for sought-out candidates like FAU's Dusty May. Amidst the strategic debates and predictions, the Andrew Tate Show will offer a unique blend of sports analysis and culinary appreciation, catering to diverse interests within the sports community. So,
okay.
First question. How do you think Nick Saban's outspoken views on name, image, and likeness will influence recruiting strategies for college football programs?
You know, I was just going into and just thinking about some of the things that have come out about Nick Saban leaving and how he was looking at things and saying, you know, even by the time the game was over, they were eliminated. Kids were already saying, "Hey, coach, am I going to get more money next year? Because so-and-so's offering me more money." And one of the things that kind of bugged Nick Saban was he didn't even have time to step back and look at the season and address the season before kids were already thinking about, hey, so-and-so's already called me saying they're giving me more money. I'm not coming back, coach, unless you match this. That's the big problem. And with this whole name, image, and likeness, it's crazy because name, image, and likeness should not even be a part of college football. That is a totally separate conversation. It has been crazy for years that you can't, if you're a top quarterback for a school and you can't do an endorsement deal before this, now it's become part of it. And it's like, hey, unless you get me more endorsement deals and name, image, and likeness money, I have to leave. It's everybody's one and done. Everyone is potentially, you have to worry about, oh boy, do we win this game or do we get Billy a couple more carries because he's not going to be happy if his carries are down.
Yeah.
Which then he may transfer. These are things that should not even come into a coach's mindset. This is the reason why I talk about the whole issue of paying players, making players employees of the university. They sign a 3-year or 4-year deal to go to school at the University of Georgia, at the University of Colorado, at the University of Miami, and whatever school it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a set amount, whatever that dollar figure is. Let's say it's $10,000 a month for 4 years. You're there, and any extra money that you get on name, image, and likeness, that's you. That's what you and your agent. The coach should have nothing to do with, does Billy get an auto dealer sponsorship where he can actually do commercials, or if the local, feed and fuel was going to do an endorsement with the offensive line so that they can get some name, image, and likeness money. That is not what this was meant to be. Coaches should be coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Let the agents in. And that's what they should have done years ago. Let the agents in. The agents can go out and get people endorsement deals, but the players are under contract where they have a set amount. And and I know there are some people going to hear what I just said before and lose their mind. So I want to clarify something. I said, let's say you pay them $10,000 a month. That sounds like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But when you realize that a quarterback nowadays, a starting Division I quarterback, the money's starting at $1 million, $2 million a year for a guy to go there. $120,000 for a starting player isn't a lot of money, especially when you look at an SEC team that, when you look at endorsement, sponsorships, ticket sales, television contract, and everything else, are making hundreds of millions of dollars every year off of the players. Giving the players a $7,000 to $10,000 a month contract where they're locked in for 2 to 3 years, it's worth it, and you eliminate all this craziness.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I'm pro paying the players.
What about the schools that can't afford to do that, though?
Then you don't do it.
Then you don't.
I mean, this is the conversation that we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize this is going on right before your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Buffalo University, do you think they can get the same deals that a Georgia can get?
No,
not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia has the money to bring in the big name, image, and likeness deals, so they're going to get better players. The University of Akron, the University of Buffalo University, they don't have that. So they're not going to be able to sign someone for $7,000 or $10,000 a month. So the right tackle at Kent State University, maybe he's only getting $1,500 a month, where a starting tackle for the University of Georgia, he's getting $10,000 or $12,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's but it's going on now. People just, they call it name, image, and likeness, but they're paying these players to come aboard. There's not a player, or if there's very few players at Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama and Michigan and Texas that are not getting paid. And they're getting paid a whole heck of a lot more than $7,000 to $10,000. You know what I mean? But if you did it more on and talk about evening out the playing field. This is what I was talking about earlier. When you're talking about the NCAA rethinking things and coming back. Imagine if the NCAA just said, listen, all Division I schools they can give this many players scholarships, they can only pay this many players, and the salary range is from this to this. Then everyone is on an equal playing field. Everyone's salary for the 2024 season is this many $1 million. So Georgia has that, let's say it's $10 million. I'm just using that as a wide number. And, Kansas, the salary is $10 million and everyone else's is $10 million. Then you would start seeing who really are the better coaches, who are really the better teams. That's the reason why parity happens in the NFL so often, because everyone has a minimum they must spend and a maximum they can exceed. And everything must fall in between there. And we're headed that model. That's where college football needs to go to, because you cannot keeping the teams into a name, image, and likeness Cold War, where it's like, oh, hey, coach, Texas has offered me this. It's the end of the season. Saban's like, wait a minute, I'm just trying to get over this loss, and you're already telling me you're leaving if I don't give you more money? That would turn anyone off. So,
yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. And honestly, you kind of feel bad for a lot of these college football coaches who are like trying to work hard and build up a good football program and everything like that. And then, people are like, well, this college is going to pay me more money if I go over there. So peace. See ya.
There are coaches that have been coaching for years. Chip Kelly was the UCLA coach. And he's like, the heck with that. I'd rather be an offensive coordinator at Ohio State because I don't have to deal with no more of this name, image, and likeness stuff. I can just go coach my position. There are tons of coaches that are in college that are trying like crazy to get to the NFL so they don't have to deal with the name, image, and likeness. That's how bad this has gotten. The NCAA this is why they're having these hearings, and government doesn't want to step in right now because it's not politically the right climate for it.
Right.
But something has to be done.
I agree.
So.
Next question is, with the proposed changes to the college football playoff format, how can conferences like the SEC and Big Ten adapt their strategies to maintain competitive dominance?
Well, the SEC and the Big Ten already have dominance. Yeah. They're going to, they're the biggest, richest conference of them all. They're the one bullying everyone else in college football, trying to adjust the college football playoffs so that they're getting more teams in. That they're making now, it's been approved, they're going to get like 58 to 60% of the money for the college football playoffs. They're still trying to work on that, hey, the Big Ten and the SEC winner automatically gets an automatic bye. So they already have all the benefits and all the advantages. The conferences that are at a disadvantage are the ACC and the Big 12 and those Power Fives. With the way things are being adjusted, the SEC and the Big Ten are just stacking the books against them. I know that's kind of a little bit different about what your question was, but that's kind of the way it is.
Yep.
So. All right, now it sounds like we're about to get to the fun stuff. Enough of this heavy college football stuff.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our Friday special of dating horror stories. So make sure you guys stick around. Tate's going to eat a Skittle. We'll be right back, guys.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness and the college football evolution. And now, as always on Fridays, we're going to dive into our dating horror stories. Tate is very excited. I think Tate loves Fridays just because of these.
I kind of do.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I found these on a I think it's Casual Ireland subreddit. So all of these stories are based in Ireland. So some of the words might be a little different.
Let me tell you something though, before we even get into this.
Yes.
The Irish are my peeps. They are awesome people. They're some of the nicest people you would ever meet. I didn't know any Irish until I moved to Portugal. Mm-hmm. I got stranded about in September, October. I got stranded in Dublin, Ireland for 2 days at the airport. And, I met a bunch of people then. But then on my flight back, it was weird. Everybody, it was like a little party. People were singing and sharing snacks and everything on the plane. I'm like, what kind of flight is this? The Irish people are unreal. Yeah. Super sweet people. Awesome.
I am actually Irish from Irish descent. My parents went to Ireland, I think 2 years ago, and they loved it. And they loved the Irish people. They agree that they're really cool and really nice.
Wonderful, wonderful people. I mean, they really are. I would, beautiful country, amazing and nice people. Mm-hmm. I would recommend Ireland for anyone.
Yeah. All right. So our first one, met a guy on Tinder a few years ago. He was really handsome and we got chatting and he seemed genuinely nice and funny. He asked me to go on a date and said we would get food. The day comes and he drives an hour to collect me. He's even more handsome in person and the chat flows and I'm thinking, man, he's great. Tells me his friends are having a barbecue and we could stop in for a second. This was my first time meeting him and I kind of didn't want to meet his friends yet, but I agreed and let him bring me to the barbecue. We got to a lovely house and it's full to the brim with people. He introduces me to loads of people and next thing I know, I'm talking to his ma'am and nanny, which mom and grandma I believe, while he's off drinking with his friends, and I'm told this is his sister's engagement party, and this guy I barely knew decided to bring me as a date. I met his entire family, parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends for the first time I met him. We all went to the local pub where his nanny ended up having a Coyote Ugly moment on the bar to a band singing Zombie by the Cranberries, and at the end of the night this guy is now too drunk to drive me an hour home, tells me he loves me and he's never felt like this about anyone, then proceeds to vomit on my shoes. And his ex-girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend was there and kept calling me a homewrecker. This guy was 29 and I was around 20. Honestly, weirdest night of my life. I ended up getting a mate to come collect me. I deleted Tinder and have never spoken to the guy again.
There's some things to unpack here. Okay.
Yes.
So I didn't have a problem with him bringing a date to the wedding.
Right.
How about a little heads up?
Yeah,
hey,
I feel
Becky,
like he should have told her. Yeah.
This is my sister's wedding. you can't be playing it like, hey, some people I know is having a barbecue.
My friends are having.
Yeah, my friends are having a barbecue. Right off the top. If you gotta lie to get a date to your sister's wedding, you're doing it all wrong already. Am I right? Because
You're
I'm
right,
I'm a little upset if I go on a date and a girl is like, oh yeah, do you mind if we stop in? I have a friend of mine that's having a barbecue. And it turns out it's her brother's wedding, mama there, grandma there, Aunt Beatrice is there. Oh, no, I'm upset about this. It's how he did it.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to, if a guy's going to start off with a little white lie right off the top.
Red flag.
Yes.
I need to get
if you're going to start off with just a little, you can't do that. Just be like, listen, my sister is getting married. It's a blast. My sister, the reception, the wedding, everything's a blast. Why don't you come along as my date? Then you already have heads up.
Yes.
Then when old girl comes stepping to you and calling you a home wrecker, you hit her with that 3-piece hot and spicy and keep on partying. But when you're not prepared, and you're over there, next thing you know, because I wouldn't be happy about this. If I show up I'm at a party and mom is there, dad is there, grandma is twerking on the bar. I'm not prepared for that. I can't. I'm not used to seeing grandma twerk on the bar. And okay, Faith, here's another question.
Yes.
Did you even understand the whole concept of Coyote Ugly?
Yeah, I knew what it meant.
Okay, because that movie is so old. I'm like,
I haven't seen it, but I understand what the phrase means. So
you were like a zygote when that movie came out. So I'm like, I don't even know if you know what Coyote Ugly is.
Granny was getting down with it. She was having a good old time. And honestly, I would have supported it. I would have been like, you go, Granny.
But you can't have, okay, if you're going to be there, you're going to bring a date. One, you got to let the date know, hey, this is my sister's wedding. Number two, my ex is going to be there. I don't want her there, but, my sister and her are real tight, so they invited her. Just to let you know, because she gets a little drunk, she start hitting that Henny. Next you know, she wants to fight. She wants to call you a home wrecker. So you know what's going on before, things start getting out of hand.
Yeah.
You see the ex and she's on her third or fourth glass of Hennessy. It's time to get your
Anybody on Hennessy is. I've never met a person who's had Hennessy and is nice after drinking Hennessy. Hennessy was crafted by the devil.
This woman. This is a quick commercial break here as far as this one goes. One time I was at a grocery store. This is when I was living in the U.S. And I ran into this nice black lady, and she was in the ice cream aisle. And somehow we struck up a conversation, and she was talking about how she's been on a diet and all this stuff, but how the doctor's been getting on her. But she's like, she don't care what he's doing. She got to have her H&H every night. And I'm like,
every night? Oh my God.
I'm like, what is H&H? And she's like, Hennessy and Haagen-Dazs. So she gets her H&H on every night.
Hennessy every night. That's
H&H, Hennessy and Haagen-Dazs. So she's doing Hennessy floats.
Haagen-Dazs isn't even that good. Pick a different ice cream.
I don't know, but I can't picture no Hennessy float. That always stuck in my head. So
Ooh.
now
I've had Hennessy one time. That is one of the most disgusting liquors I have ever had. And I don't know how people just throw it back like it's nothing.
you were missing a scoop of Haagen-Dazs. That's why. You didn't get that. You need the Haagen-Dazs cuts the Henny. That's what it is.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but yeah, this whole back to the original story, he slipped up many a time. And then he got drunk, threw
Too
up
drunk
on
to
her
drive
stuff,
home. Yeah.
and left her there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a disaster. Don't blame what was the dating app she was on? Tinder. Don't blame Tinder. Do not blame Tinder.
Ooh, I don't know. I've been on Tinder, and the pickings you get from Tinder are not great.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I got a Tinder story for you. Then I'm gonna throw a quick Tinder story in there. So this is something that happened recently in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now you remember I'm married, so make sure this is part of the lead-in. So when we first got to Europe, I was at a store and I met this lady, and I think she was from the US as well. And she's like, "Oh, I love it here." And she was like, "I have so many friends." I'm like, "How'd you meet so many people so fast?" And she was like, "Tinder here has this platonic section where you can put in you just want friends." And I met all my friends through the platonic section. So I'm like, really interesting. So I run it past the wife.
Mm-hmm.
I run it past wifey, and we look at it like, okay, it looks legit. So I'm like, American, just moved to Portugal, happily married, only looking for friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was DM Central. People were dropping in, giving. Nobody wanted to be Tate's friend.
I could have told you that. I could have told you that.
Whoa! I was all Mr. Innocent. I sit down with the wifey. Let's see who we have today.
Oh my
Bam.
God!
Bam! I'm like, oh hell!
I could have told you that.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of my account. So there it is.
With this story though, I agree. He should have just been honest and was like, "Hey, I need a date for my sister's engagement party. Can you come with me? Are you comfortable with that? My entire family's going to be there." But they're great to hang out with, obviously, because Granny can get down and party on top of the bar. So, I mean, if you would have been honest, everything would have been fine. You could have prepared, you could have Ubered, you could have done this, you could have done that, lined up a drive home, everything like that. Or you could have said no, and he could have found somebody else. Because I'm sure somebody...
I'm going to stop you. I don't think he... Listen, if you are at the point where the only option you have is to lie to a girl that you met on Tinder and trick her to come to that wedding, so you have a date at that wedding, he don't have a lot of game. He don't have a lot of options. And so if he had to lie to you to get you there, chances are you were his only hope. Do you see that?
I guess, yeah. But I mean, he could have just gone by himself. His ex-girlfriend was there and calling her a homewrecker, so I'm sure the ex-girlfriend...
Homewrecker Becky was there, though. And that's the thing. He probably didn't want to go by himself, knowing that his ex was there. I think that's what it was. He wanted some eye candy on his arm because the ex was there.
Yeah. I guess. But
that's-
honesty is the best policy, guys. Don't lie to your dates.
No,
Don't
you
lie to
shouldn't.
your dates.
If you have to lie, then you're missing something.
Yeah.
Because I'm brutally honest with my dates. Back, I'm retired now.
You were brutally honest with your dates.
Yes. But yeah, you got to be honest. And then you'd be surprised the things you can be honest about, and people will be like,
Right.
they're cool with it. They just appreciate the fact that you were honest.
I enjoy an honest man. I like an honest
Careful what you
man.
wish for. I'm too honest sometimes.
God.
So,
All right,
okay.
guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some more dating horror stories for you, so make sure you stick around. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing dating horror stories, and now we're gonna dive back into some more. Alright. I have two. We'll see if we have enough time for both of them. If not, we'll put the other one for next week.
Listen, it's like Jell-O. There's always room.
Okay, so this story is like I heard from a friend of a friend story. So my friend also heard a story from a colleague. She's in her mid-30s and went on a second date with this guy. He was fine the first time, but this time around he was a menace. In a restaurant, he ripped he farted so bad it turned this woman's...
Okay, sorry. I was thinking like he ripped clothes.
No.
No. He had
passed gas.
some gas issues. Yes.
He passed gas so bad it turned this woman's stomach. When he noticed she stopped eating, she said, "Oh, my stomach isn't feeling good. I'm going to leave." He asks her, after hearing that she has stomach issues, if she would come home with him. She was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go home." He kicks off like she slapped him, and she had to end up paying for the meal. She was close to deleting all dating apps after that experience.
Okay. You can't be dropping napalm on your dates, okay? That is not there's certain things you shouldn't be allowed to do.
Yeah.
Now, I understand things happen naturally sometimes, but man, I don't understand. I don't understand that one at all. And then I got to give him credit for at least a closed mouth don't get fed. I understand that. So he stepped up to the plate. Wait a minute, before you leave, let me ask you a question.
Do you want to come home with me?
His theory was it was already over in the first place. Might as well throw that half-court shot up right now. No, but it's such a bad just say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't feel well. I need to go to the restroom." Go up the bathroom.
I'm sorry.
Don't blow up your girl on was it second date or first date?
Second date. The second. Listen.
There gotta be. Great, let me hear that.
What the hell are you eating before this date that makes you pass gas and it makes her sick?
Deer ankles? I don't know.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Listen. I'm assuming that my man didn't realize the funkitude that was coming out of him when it happened. You know, I don't know if he really realized that it was gonna come out that flaming hot. So I'm gonna give him a pass on the Stankosaurus stuff right now. I'm gonna give him a pass on that. Just excuse yourself. Excuse. I'm sorry. I need to run to the little boy's room. I gotta run. And then just run. Don't blow your girl up right in between.
I can't. You know, I can't stop laughing.
In between the California roll and the dragon roll. You can't be blowing, especially at dinner.
Mm-hmm. This is almost as bad as the black bean soup story.
No. Nothing's as bad as the black beans.
I said almost. I don't think anything can top the black bean soup story.
The black bean soup story, I would have left my car. I would have moved out of state.
Yeah. I would have left the country, not move out of state. I would have moved to another country.
Maybe that's what happened. That's why I ended up in Portugal. I ate a big old pot of black beans and just was like, I'm out of America.
Was that you?
But this
oh
dude,
my gosh.
Why are you dropping napalm during dinner? You can't be dropping biscuits.
I love your terminology for this. All of your terminology is great. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Seriously, you can't be dropping biscuits that aren't meant for the table. There's just certain things you cannot do. I could see if it was an outdoor barbecue and you kind of tried to slide over by the spruce tree and things happen. But if you're sitting there at a restaurant and it's just you two in a booth, that's just wrong.
Also, if it smells that bad to where she is sick to her stomach, you know that he could smell it too. And so
sometimes guys don't care.
There are ways you can play that off. If she's just like, oh, you're like, oh yeah, I know. Oh my gosh,
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Wait a
smell?
minute. I'm gonna throw this back at you, Faith. You just said the last segment that you want guys to be honest. Well, nothing's more honest than dropping a grenade at the table and saying, "That's all me."
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! My stomach hurts so bad. That's all me. That's all me, baby.
Nothing but honesty, baby.
That's all me, baby. You like what you see? That's all me right there.
Faith, drink it in.
Ew. Oh my god.
That's why she got sick, Faith. She drunk it in too much.
That's disgusting.
All right. On that one, we're moving on to our next story. we don't need to go to let that one linger any longer.
God. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. So this one's pretty bad.
Oh my God, babe.
So Met a fella online and chatted for a few days. He said he lived in a town near me, so handy enough. Great chat, even talked on the phone for ages, and finally decided to meet in real life. Plan was to meet for dinner. I get to the restaurant, and he's changed quite a bit from his photos, but sure, that's almost to be expected, right? I was gonna stay and give him a chance anyway. We hadn't even ordered drinks yet when this absolute nutcase looks at me and says, I like you. We should have a baby. Are you ovulating?
Whoa. Oh, hell no.
Sorry, what? I obviously make a hasty exit, but he tries to follow me out. When I ask what the hell he thinks he's doing, he informs me that he lied about where he lived and had driven 4 hours to get there, so clearly he has to stay with me for the night. Absolutely not, you psycho. The next day, I get a text from him saying, I miss you already. Never blocked someone so fast.
Okay. First off, there's so much to unpack on this one.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people, and it's always that desperate, creepy guy that don't understand there are boundaries.
Yeah.
I have a former, I'm not gonna call him a friend, an associate.
Mm-hmm.
He was very desperate for a date. He hadn't had a date in years.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this girl, very cute girl. I decided I'd fix him up with her. I went over, talked to her, introduced him, got him a date, and he was so excited. And I'm like, okay, here's one thing. You go on this date, when it's over, you can't call her for 24 hours. You got to wait 24 hours before you call her. That's the only advice I'm going to give you. You got to, give it some time.
Let it simmer.
Yes. The girl, like 2 days into it, is threatening to get him a restraining order because
oh my gosh.
When he left, he called her from the parking lot on his way. Then when he got home to make sure she got home the next morning, then he showed up at her work. You can't, that's too much of a good thing. You can't be that attentive. You got to pull back. Go on a date, have a good time, kiss her good night, hug her, shoot her the deuces, whatever you got to do, but walk away. And even if you want to call really bad, and I know this is a bad one, Faith, about not calling that next day, 24 hours. You got to let 24 hours pass.
I would,
because then you come off as too needy.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I would be okay with is calling to make sure I got home safe. I would be fine with that. But then after that, you should wait 24 hours to call me.
Yes, that's dating 101. Girls say, I want a guy that's attentive. No, they don't. They don't want
attentive to an extent. If it's the first date and you're calling me 3 times within the last 12 hours.
Oh, no, it was way more than
that.
He showed up. The one guy showed up too.
And then showing up to my work. That's not attentive. That's loony bin.
I'm not showing up to at my wife's work, let alone someone on a first date.
Well,
I'm just saying. It's the fact that, but then this dude took it to creep factor 14. Mm-hmm. Hey, we should have a baby together. Are you ovulating?
Sir, I just met you.
This is when girls, listen, when he said, you should have been reaching into your purse for the mace right then and there. Mm-hmm. You got to have that handy, because at that point, that date should be over. Even if you wanted a baby tomorrow, that you don't want that DNA.
No.
Walk away.
Yeah.
If you sit down, man, Faith, this date is going so great. I want to have a baby. Go to H. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Peace. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Hope things work out for you.
that's all messed up. And you know, people in this whole needy thing, you know, I'm sorry, you can't be doing all that. That is more than anyone can handle. And what do you do on that one, Faith? Someone just says, I want to have a baby with you.
I wouldn't even say another word. I would just stand up and walk out.
I kind of agree with you.
I'd be like, and then.
Now, see, at that level, they're showing something upstairs that aren't not quite right. At this point, this is that, excuse me, I just want to run to the restroom real quick. You're so cute. Uber, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I maybe even call mom and dad to help you. Like, hey, the Uber is going to be going southbound on 80. Y'all go eastbound. Meet me halfway, because I don't even want I'm afraid this guy's going to follow me. You don't want it. You there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no reason during a date to do that. Also, but this shifts as well for the woman that sits down at the table. And I've seen this one. Okay. I want to know where your intentions are. Where do you see this going? Do you see us getting married? Do you want kids? And this, and this. And it's like, lady, I haven't even gotten my wings for my appetizer yet.
What happened to hello? How are you?
Yes. Girls that do that, it's off with y'all's head too. Anyway, if you on the first date is meant to be a meet and greet. Nothing
it's like a
more.
job interview.
Yes. If you're gonna ask for life altering situations, and you haven't even gotten the dinner rolls, haven't even made it to the table before you're asking about kids. Yeah. Are you ovulating? How much I make? And do I see us getting married?
Yeah.
Even if I'm like, man, you know what? I kind of want to get married. If someone sits down on me in first date, where do you see this going? Are we going to get married? I was thinking about proposing tomorrow, but I'm out now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Thank God I've never really had a date like this, and I don't know what I would do if I ever had a date like this. I mean, the worst thing that happened to me is a guy took me to the Chick-fil-A inside the mall. That was.
Oh, I've had some. I've been very lucky that I've had some. Most of my dates have been always very nice, but I have had the "Do you see us getting married?" question on the first 5 minutes, and it's like, no, I don't whatsoever. I just nope. And the question they always follow, well, why not? Because I just met you.
I don't know you. That's why I don't know you.
There's that honesty that I tell you that I'm always very direct on. Because I just met you. That's why.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. On that one.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to close out the show for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, presented by GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.